Proudly sponsored by Diamond Bright, keeping the furious fleet shining. Hello and welcome to Furious Driving, and it really is not the loveliest, most auspicious of days to start doing a project that involves taking a classic car to a garage, but that is what we're doing because today is the day of days, the day we're going to take this thing out of the garage, and I'm finally doing what I said I was going to do a while ago, give up on it. Well, not exactly, no, that's a bit harsh. Basically, we've come to the end of the road where I've exhausted my time and talent and things to do. I think the problem with this car not starting is its cam timing is not correct. I timed up and it all seemed to work when it was on the floor. The valves seemed to be opening and closing correctly with the camshaft going around. Everything looked like it was working. And I don't know what the problem is. So basically, because I've got so many other projects, and the longer I spend not fixing this, it's more time I'm not fixing the Mercedes or the Mini or the Freelander, which needs its brakes doing, and everything else. So today, this car is going to get picked up in a few minutes and taken off to CCK Historic, and they can then look at this car for me and figure out why it doesn't start. But first of all, we've got to get it out of here. Now that might sound like a simple task, but this is a heavy car and there's quite a big lip on this garage entrance that stops you having water flowing in there. So last night my friend Jason came around and together we pulled it out of here, bolted the bonnet back on because that is really the safest place for that to be, and then pushed it back in again, which was actually surprisingly hard to do. One good thing about having dogs, lots of old towels around the place.
Yeah. So it's not that there's a being in the world that loves you unconditionally.
Nope, it's the towels. One of the bonnets I had painted for this car, rather than try and rent a van and transport it sensibly, I bolted it onto the white Rover, scrapped a scrap bonnet down at the painter's place, and then started to drive home. But then I discovered that the catch was defective. As soon as I hit 30 miles an hour, the bonnet let go. Yeah, didn't hit the windscreen because I hit the brakes as soon as it started coming up, but it did. Whoa, you grab that for me.
Got it.
It did go and bend itself in the middle. So instead of saving £30 on a van, because that's all it cost back then, I wound up spending another £100 on another bonnet, another £100 on getting it painted.
Ooh,
not a day covered in glory.
No.
Has to be said. Right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's it. Oh, well done.
There we go.
We're in.
Moving.
Easy as you like. So, it is now all ready to be loaded up on the truck. Just need to get everything out of the way again so we can actually pull the thing out of the truck. Then once that's gone, we can have a big old shuffle around. W123 can come indoors for the first time. And that will give me access to, well, basically I can weld it in the dry, which would be absolutely fantastic. Might be able to get the Crown Victoria. I've always wondered if I can slot the Crown Vic into that slot there. I suspect I probably can't, but it'll be fun finding out. I say fun, probably expensive on a script on the side of the garage. Let us start emptying this thing out. Moved without a person pushing it in about 2 years. Admittedly, it's not actually being pushed, it's being pulled still. It's definitely different. Yeah, really got there now. Yeah. Oh, I'll try. I can't get out now. Oh, it's the first time I've seen this car actually out in the open for quite a long time. Oh, got a couple of bubbles coming through there, that's not good. Get them sorted out. I know. I'll get abuse from the tow truck driver. I'm not being paid to talk.
You said you was a friend.
I never said that. Well, that time's a bit low.
Fiend. Sorry, I misread.
Fiend, exactly.
Yeah, I know lots of fiends.
Believe it or not, this is not the first time I've seen this car on the back of a low loader. When I was running it with the other 3.5 litre, this was a surprisingly common sight, which is why it came off the road in the first place. And away she goes. Thanks, Neil. See you later. Bye, Rover. See you again soon. All this stuff came out the inside of the Rover. There's actually lots more of it in the Mini and the green Rover 200. The problem is, once the car gets parked, it just becomes free storage. And so the Rover gradually filled up and filled and filled up. And now this is all on the floor of the garage. And because I've been doing lots of jobs all over the place the last few days, all the tools are kind of scattered across the garage as well. Stuff from all the other cars just everywhere. And I'm actually not sure this is wide enough to actually squeeze the Mercedes into now. Okay, we've had a bit of a tidy up in the garage, so there's hopefully room to squeeze this thing in here. Come on, car. Nearly. Almost. Very, very nearly. Oh, I can't reach the throttle. Accelerator's running away. Okay, the throttle's stuck open, that's good. That's not great. It appears to be on fire. Well, I think it's probably just an oil leak. Okay, so we'll give that one more try. See if it will sing into life without exploding this time. Nope. It is very keen to rev. What's wrong with you, car? You're going to go indoors and get welded. But no, you're going to rev like a mad thing. The auto choke stuck perhaps? I don't know. Everything's moving as it should. It's just decided to go full wide open throttle. I had to lurch the car backwards a bit because it was not really possible to get in there and work on it. But what it looks like is the throttle pedal itself was not in the right position, and so it was just pulling on the cable and just revving the thing to like crazy. So now I can actually, well, I say we can move it. We now don't have enough revs to make the thing move, but we'll do what we can. I'll just get backwards up the driveway if we can. Bit of throttle if I can. Yep, just about enough movement on there to get the throttle going. Come on, car, up we go. Now I've got a slight problem here that once it starts rolling, oh, I've got the handbrake, that's all right then. I might need to go and clear that windscreen. Whoops. Okay, let's see where we're lined up. Pretty good actually. Pretty good. The battery I shoved in there is the wrong size for this engine bay, that's why the bonnet's all cockamamie. Right, once I'm over that lip, I can just push it the rest of the way. I think we're going through okay. I wonder if I can open the door and get out. Oh, I've got no throttle now. Neutral, whoops, whoops. Oh. I think that'll do. This car is significantly wider than the Rover was, which does present an issue. Can't get out. Literally, I can't get out. Not quite sure what I'm going to do now. These boots do not help. Right, cardboard on the chair so I can stand on the chair. Okay. And out the window. Whoa. Man alive, what a pain in the butt. Okay. Oh. Okay, now I've turned the copyright music off, I can talk to you again. I should have driven this slightly further in because it is not keen on rolling those last few inches. I'm going to leave the windows down in it as well because it's very misted up in there. So my plans or thoughts of doing work on the car here in the garage were perhaps a little ambitious because it's, well, it's a big boy. It is not a little car. This is the kind of car you want to be working on a double garage with nothing else in the garage alongside you, because this ain't possible to work beside. I'm going to be going all Dukes of Hazzard in the next couple of weeks on this car. And now I've got the thing shoved in as far as it will go, and it's barely going to clear the door coming down. I have to watch that very carefully. I have to unbolt the tow bar for that. What a car. That's the problem with silly big cars. I should definitely start investing in bubble cars and Fiat 500s. Well, the Mercedes is now tucked away. It's not as ideally placed for repair jobs as I'd hoped, but at least it's out of the rain for a few days at least. Next question is this spot it's vacated wide enough to squeeze a Crown Victoria into? And if it is it wide enough for me to open a door? I think one way to find out. That is a hard no. So that definitely isn't going to happen. I've been wondering for a long time whether or not I could tuck the Crown Vic over next into that corner. Perhaps if I had the Mini in there or some other very small car I could, but no. I will just show you quickly that the dash top cover that was sent through on Junk in the Trunk, I haven't velcroed it down yet, but I've popped it in there because it's quite nice for protecting the car from UV light and stopping that cracking or fading, which is quite cool. I guess I'll have a quick tidy up down there and pop the Mondeo in that corner for now. Okay, second time lucky squeezing something into this gap. The car's got big since the 80s because that E-Class is massive and it's absolutely filling the garage. This Mondeo is pretty much taking the entire spot, well, more than filling the spot. I can squeeze it over a touch, I think. I might have to come off camera from it. There we go. You can look at the dashboard. This Mondeo is more than filling the space the E-Class took. Yeah, cars have just got enormous. Oh, let's try to gouge it down the side of the garage. Oh, that's tight. That is as tight as I dare get to the wall. And that'll be the fence. Okay, let's see. Oh, actually I can open the door, that's alright. Phew. That's turned out alright then. I'll keep on cleaning the interior while I'm here. Actually, from the outside, that looks like it fits quite tidily. It just feels a lot bigger from the inside because the flanks of the car are so curvy. It's pretty much tight against the wall. Well, that was my day. How was yours? So this has been good in that the Rover V8 is now off and is going to get fixed. So I've given the CCK instructions, or requests I should say, to make the thing start, sort out the exhaust joint and fit the power steering pump, because I could not, no matter where I rotated it to. It's like some weird puzzle that there's no solution to. I couldn't work out how on earth to make that fit back into place. All the pipes and belts are there in the car with it, just waiting to be fitted. So they can do all that for me. Then we'll see what the price on that particular effort is, and then if it's relatively affordable, then I'll get them to carry on, sort out the welding, and I'll take over the wings and we'll go and put an MOT on the thing and drive it home. Otherwise, if it's really expensive, we'll trailer it back home and then we'll fix everything else when we get home, because it needs new fuel lines on it, and needs the gearbox flushing through, and needs the brake lines flushing through before I drive it anywhere. So there's a few things to get done, but it would be lovely just to, just get in the car and drive it home. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? Anyway, so Mondeo almost ready to go. Just need to do the headlining still. Not really great weather for taking headlinings out and doing them on the floor. That can dry out for a few days, and I was hoping, as I say, to be able to go in there and actually weld the wing, but that was massively optimistic, because you don't really realise quite how narrow P6s are. Neil, the tow truck driver, whose details I'll put in the description below, he actually commented when it was on the truck how narrow the P6 actually is. This, on the other hand, isn't. This is really wide, and so I'm going to have to do ridiculous gymnastics to get through the garage now, which is great. Yeah, Crown Vic doesn't fit in there. We now established that, unless I buy an Austin 7 to stick next to it, which sounds like a solution. Anyway, right, this is me done for now. I'm going to go and do some other stuff, and then hopefully it'll stop raining, and then we can fix some more cars. Right, thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll see the V8 again before too very long, with a functioning engine and able to move under its own power, because that would be absolutely phenomenal. Then once that car's actually running, then we can start on the real upgrades. You know the drill. Like, subscribe, head over to furiousdriving.co.uk, where you can actually find magnets and stickers of the Crown Vic, the W123, Hippo the Freelander, the 200VI, and all the rest of the fleet to adorn your fridge or toolbox. And don't forget, I know I just said it a second ago, but subscribe again, subscribe twice. That'd be fantastic, and I'll see you again next time doing, I don't know what, some stuff of something.